Alright guys, it is almost 2 o'clock. Excuse me. We're going to give it 2 minutes as usual. Let everybody jump on. Today we're doing a T-Rex. This is going to be a long draw, so be ready. We're just waiting a little bit to give people a chance to jump on. So we'll be starting at 2:02 on our draw. I see Bobby's on. This is about the biggest reptile you can do. And I don't want to hear this, they're related to birds. They still look like a lizard. I'm calling them a reptile. Alright, we're going to give it just one more minute. And then we're going to get started. Couple more seconds. All right. Excuse me. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. So like I said, we're doing a T-Rex. It's going to be a long draw. I'm going to break it down into nothing but shapes at first, so that way it'll be easier for you to follow along. We'll take a couple pauses in between to give you a chance to get everything together. But now, let's get started. Okay. So for whatever paper you're using, kind of go high and stay about 3/4 of the way to the right, because you're gonna need space to draw them out. So we're just gonna draw a circle. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to make an oval. Touch it right to it. On this end of it, raise it up a little bit. Okay. Now, on this circle you did here, almost to the top of that circle, but not quite. You're just going to come out. Do that. Cut it over. And then inside this circle, you're going to draw another circle. Right there. That's going to be like the joint of his mouth where he would open and close. Right. And then from that, you're just going to come down and make his lower jaw. Okay. All right. You guys ready? So now I'm gonna put two little. It's not a bird. It's a reptile. I don't want to hear this bird stuff. I don't care how they're related to birds. It's a reptile. It has a long tail. It's a reptile. Right. So we're just connecting that circle to the don't fight with me on this. Connect that circle to the oval there. All right. And then off of that oval, about 3/4 of the way up, you're just going to make a big whip line like that. And that's going to be his tail. Okay? Alright, so now in that oval that we did for the body, we're going to put a big circle right here. Okay? Then you're going to put a small circle to the front. I'll give you a look there. See? Just like that. This actually could probably be a little bigger. Alright. So now off the back circle, I'm just going to make a little triangle right there. Okay? That's just going to show us the direction of his legs. Okay? And then the same thing on this one. That's going to be where his arms are going to be. And his little Alrighty. So now on the arms here, you're just going to put a little curl just like that. And then where that meets, where that circle touches the oval, you're just going to put another one right there. That's just going to show you where his arms are going to be when we start drawing. To this oval and this triangle here, and you're going to make a little rectangle right there. Okay, and then off this main body you're going to do the same thing. It's going to be slanted a little bit more though. You slant that one in, bring it down, just like that. Okay? I'll bring it up so you can see it a little better. So that's where you should be. Stop, it's not a bird. Alright. So now, off of the two stumps that you have here, you're going to come down, you're going to trace this line right here, you're going to come down like that, and then the same with this one, just going to come down a little bit. Alright, And now right here where that line and that rectangle touch, you're just going to make a little triangle. Alright? And then the same thing here. Come out. And make a little triangle. Just like that. And that is going to turn into his feet when we're done. So now I'm just going to put a little, what looks like a little circle. Alright? Like if you drew a circle, those two lines would be in it. See what I'm talking about in the foot here? If that were a circle, so you just need those two lines right there. And then you're going to do the same thing off the back, where if you were using the line right from here that you drew before off that stump leg, you're just going to draw an imaginary circle. Okay. I'll bring it up. See, like an imaginary circle. But you just need those two lines. Same thing on that side. Imaginary circle. Alright. Okay. So now now we're going to start some real stuff here, some real drawing, some details. So right off this circle on the head right here, all right, you're going to put a little circle. See, right there. And now this circle line, if you wanted to, you could erase it. You're probably better off erasing it so it doesn't get in the way when we start putting the details of the face in. So take a second and erase that line. Alright. And then you can take off the top half of that circle that was on the lower jaw. Erase that. Leave this line here, you're going to need it. Okay? You can take these out. You won't need them. You know, I might bring the camera in a little closer. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get the camera a little bit closer so you can see a little better. So now I'm going to go ahead and just rough in a little bit of detail. Alright. So now here And when we go over this with pen, a lot more of this detail is gonna show a little bit better. Alright. So we're gonna bring this mouth line in a little bit and up, just like a wave. Top one, it's going to come down, and then we're going to bring it up a little bit above that original line, and then bring it down and curve it up. Alright. And then up top, you know how we have this curve here? I'm going to bring it up. You're going to kind of flatten that top out a little bit. And bring it down. You're going to make a little hump right there. And bring it down below that line. And then up and out. Alright, I'll show you. So you get a little better look. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and give him a little eyebrow. And then you're going to put just 2 little lines and just to make that a full eye. Alright? And we'll give him a nostril. That's where you should be. I'll give you a second. Whoops. Focus. Lost my focus here. I'll just give it a second. It'll fix. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened here. It's trying to focus on the paper, and the pencil on the paper is not enough. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. Let's continue. So we're going to go ahead and put a little mark, little circle right there, and we'll have circle because basically that's his ear. Alright. So now I'm going to erase that circle where the arms were. Alright. And then basically you're just going to come down and trace right above where you drew that other little line. Alright. And just bring that in. And then back here, just above it, you're just going to put another little curved line. You can't really see it back there much, but okay. All right. We can darken in this line and give it a final. Just try not to make it too straight. Give it a little wave there, a little bump like right there in the throat. Okay. All right. Let's give him some teeth, because you can't eat without some teeth. And it's just little triangles. Just make sure that when you do them, you point them back and not forward. Okay? And they don't go all the way back. They only stay in this front half of his mouth. Right there. They don't go back here. And then his lower teeth are just in this little front part here. He doesn't have any teeth in the back. He just needs them in the front. And that's how he tears things apart. So you just make a couple little bumps in there. Right. And we'll give him a little tongue. Right there. All right. You keeping up there, Bobby? All right. So now we got his front half basically done. Now we're going to move to the back half. All these lines we're going to take out. Take out the top part of the main circle. Just take out the top half maybe. Alright. And then everything in the legs. Take off this little corner here. That's what it should look like for right now. So now for his legs, I'm going to come down. I'll put a little bump right there. That would be like his calf, like on your leg. I'll come down. I'm going to put a bump right here. That would be like the bump on the back of your foot. You see what it did? So here's the back of his leg. You got that bump. Come down. You got a bump here. And then kind of come in. And then slant down. Follow where that triangle was. Okay? And on the front, I'm going to do the same. Just make a little round hook right here. Come down. Make it rounded off here. Come up and bring that in. Alright. Do the same on the back leg too. You can just come down, make that little bump there, come in and down. I'll give you a second. Okay. On the front you can just curve it a little bit. So now for the feet. The feet are going to be a little bit harder. So I'm going to come underneath where we drew that like imaginary circle right there. And the same thing here. We're just going to follow this line down. Follow that one down. And then bring it in. Right there. Then we're going to take some of these lines out now. He's got to put his toes in. I want you to be able to see better. Right. So you have the top part of his foot here. Right. So right off that top part, come just below it. And then just travel down with that line. Right. Just bring it down. Alright. And then just underneath, gonna make that second line and bring it down. It's basically gonna connect to that, where that imaginary ball we drew on the foot, that's where it's ending. And then you can just put, you know, little claws on the end. Alright. And then you're going to do the same on this back foot. I'm going to come out. Just past that imaginary ball that we drew. Just come down there. And put the toenails in. Clear some of this so you can see it. Okay. All right. So now that we have the feet in, our draw is actually starting to wind down here a little bit. Uh-oh. Want to lose it again? There we go. So now, off that back leg where the circle, up where the oval was originally, right? You're just gonna come up. And then as you move up, you're just gonna shorten and thin out that line. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the top here. Just gonna come up and just bring that in real close. Right. Right there. All right. that's our draw. That's all our pencil work. Okay. So now we can go back, if you have one. This is a real fine point Sharpie. And we're just going to go back and trace all our final lines. How'd you do, Bobby? And you'll start to see it a lot better if you trace your pencil lines with that fine marker or pen or whatever it is that you have. You'll be able to see that T-Rex come out a little bit better. And I am going to color this. I have my markers ready, and I have also what's called a blender. And for the markers that I have, the alcohol markers, I can put two colors together side by side and then blend those two together so it looks seamless, like they just were drawn together. When you're doing this, it's very hard, or not hard, it's very easy to lose some of your lines when the ink starts to get close together with the pencil in small areas. Alright. So now we should be able to erase all our pencil lines and just just have the ink. There we go. You see a T-Rex there. I should have drew him a little bit farther back, just a little bit, but that's all right. So now, if you have your markers ready, with this one, it's going to be a lot of browns and greens. So whatever brown colors you have, you can pull all those out, and any green you might have, like that'll be a good green on this back. All right. This is my blender. All that is, it's just a little tip on there, and you run in between those colors, and that'll, instead of having that sharp line in between two colors, it'll soften it. So now, if you have a real light color, like this is light peach, but it's like a tannish peach color, so we're going to take that, all right, and that's going to go just on the bottom. Take it right to the neck here, right to his throat. Do it there. I'm going to blend a little bit in there too. Maybe up here. Now you can take your darker color, put that in like the center. Let's see. Let's get this to do what we want. I'm going to switch. So you have to run that blender. In between those two colors. Now if you see on the tail here, see how the color's starting to kind of blend together? That's what we want. If you kept doing this, that color would literally disappear. It would almost look white again. And you can't even see it on here. So this really is what takes a while. Getting those colors to blend through. I just want to smooth this line up a little bit. I'm actually going to put green on this top part, so I don't want to go too high up. And then what I'll do is I'll blend those together. Take it all the way up to his head. And here. That blender. Hey, cat. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I'm just going through this. This takes a little bit to blend these colors in. this will help too. I'm gonna add a little. Not dark enough. Try this. It's just going to run a shadow under it. See if you can see how they're starting to all blend together. You don't have that real sharp line. It's like more like a fuzzy line now. You just don't want that dark color all around his eye. So I'll try and blend that down.
Making this map. Is 80. This like And then the game stops. I am going to like TL, and then I just punch try.
Alright. Now you can you can see a lot of that color starting to blend through now. Now you'll see a lot of times I'll color something one color, and then I'll go back and do another color, and then I'll do it back and do another color. That's just so I layer and I get those dark tones or light tones depending on what I'm looking for. See, I go back over it again, and it still looks, probably can't tell on the camera, but it still looks brown, but now it's dark because I've layered a gray over top of it. Yeah, same with like right underneath them. Oops. Yeah, I've laid color down. Underneath. See, you can really see in the head where that blends out. Well, I'll tell you that we could be all day doing this one because there's so much that I could do, but we're not going to spend that kind of time. Alright, what I am going to do though is, let me find what I'm looking for here. Markers. Alright. I'm going to add a little color to his tongue. So now if you really wanted to have some fun with this one, you could do this. And just add a couple little lines. Like he's drooling down. Make him look like he's hungry. But yeah, we could spend hours and hours doing this one if we wanted to. See, even here where I messed up, I touched the marker to the page by accident. Just try and blend it out a little bit if I can. See? And again, that blending just runs that color out, softens it right next to the other one. It's not a bird. Why? Ooh, you. You know, I was going to send you stuff for the Frozen bottle, but now I might change my mind now. So, there we go. That's our T-Rex. Okay. Now, if you want, you can go back. We can. You know what I just noticed? I want to darken something real quick. Just that back arm. Go back. A couple little things in between here. Like he's standing in the weeds. Over here, I think we'll put like a tree like right here. Do that. Come up behind him. And that's a prehistoric tree, so you gotta add a little. You can go back with your black pen. I'm just going to put like a little V there. And connect those. I know you probably can't see it in the camera, but bring down maybe from the top a couple lines. And you can do like that. Maybe. Go back. Just so it looks different. There's a little red. There. But anyhow, all right. I've hit my hour mark, and I don't want to make it nuts. So that's our T-Rex. You can add that little extra meanness to him right there. Right, a little tree, some grass there. All right. So this will be the last one till Monday, and then on Monday we'll start a whole new week of sessions. I'm going to come up probably with 1 or 2 projects for next week too. So watch for those posts, and that's it. We're done. I had a great time. I hope you did too, and we will see you after the weekend. Have a great weekend, and just keep drawing. All right, bye bye now.